A fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. The buckwheat. Time and again, if you pass by a field of buckwheat after a thunderstorm, you will see that it has been scorched quite black, just as if a flame of fire had been over it. And then the countryman will tell you it's been struck by lightning. But why has it? I will tell you what the sparrow told me. The sparrow heard it from an old willow tree that stood by a field of buckwheat and stands there yet. It's a big, venerable willow, wrinkled and old, and it's split right to the middle. Grass and bramble runners grow out of the cleft, the tree leans over, and the branches hang right down to the ground, just like long green hair. In all the fields round about, corn grew, rye, barley, and oats, beautiful oats that look, when they are ripe, like a whole flight of small yellow canaries on a bow. The corn stood well, blessed by heaven, and the heavier it grew, the lower it bowed down in humility. But there was also a field of buckwheat, and that field lay straight on from the old willow tree. The buckwheat did not bow down at all, like the other corn, but held its head up proud and stiff. "I am quite as rich in the ear as the corn," it said, "and I am more beautiful as well. My flowers are as lovely as the apple trees. It's a joy to look at me and mine. Do you know anything finer than us, old willow tree?" And the willow tree nodded its head, as if it would say, "Yes, that I do, well enough." But the buckwheat was bursting with arrogance, and said, "Stupid tree, it's so old, grass grows in its belly." And now a dreadful storm was gathering. All the flowers of the field closed their petals or bowed their delicate heads, while the wind swept over them. But the buckwheat stood erect in its pride. "Bow your head like us," said the flowers. "I'm sure I see no need for me to do that," said the buckwheat. "Bow your head like us," cried the corn. "The angel of the storm is flying over us. He has wings which stretch up to the clouds and right down to the earth, and he will slash you in two before you can pray him to have mercy on you." "I am sure I shan't bow down," said the buckwheat. "Close your flowers and bow your leaves," said the old willow tree. "Don't look up at the lightning when the cloud bursts." Even men dare not do that, because when you look at the lightning, you see into God's heaven. And if the mere sight of it can make men blind, what could happen to us plants of the earth, we who are far humbler, if we dared to risk it? "Far humbler," said the buckwheat. "Now I will look into God's heaven. You see if I don't." And so, in its presumption and pride, it did. It was just as if the whole world stood bathed in a flame of fire, so fiercely the lightning flashed. Afterwards, when the storm had passed, the flowers and the corn stood refreshed by the rain in the still, clean air. But the buckwheat was burnt coal-black by the lightning. It was now a dead, useless weed in the field. And the old willow tree moved its branches in the wind, and great drops of water fell from the green leaves, as if the tree were weeping. And the sparrows asked, "What are you crying for? It's all so heavenly now. Look how the sun's shining, and how the clouds are moving, and just smell the perfume of the flowers and bushes. What are you crying for, old willow tree?" And the willow tree told them about the pride and arrogance of the buckwheat, and about the punishment which followed, as it always does. I, who am telling you the story, heard it from the sparrows. They told it to me one evening when I asked them for a tale.